Is it just me, or does it feel like the entire world is auditioning for a reality show called Survivor, Sanity Edition? I mean, at this point, people are losing it faster than we find during a Zoom call. It's like everyone collectively decided that logic and reason are so last season. You've got folks arguing over the most trivial things, as if the fate of humanity hinges on whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Newsflash, the only thing that's really getting cooked is our collective sanity. And let's not even get started on social media. It's like watching a circus where everyone forgot their roles. Clowns arguing with lions about who has the best roar. Honestly, if common sense were a currency, we'd all be broke. So here's to the world. May we find our marbles again before they roll off the edge of sanity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about junk food, because clearly, some of you need an intervention more than you need another bag of chips. Eating junk food is like trying to fill a pool with a bucket that has a hole in it. You think you're satisfying your cravings, but all you're really doing is pouring your money down the drain while your body screams, "Help, I'm starving for real nutrients." Seriously, if your meal has more preservatives than actual food, you might as well be eating a science project. You know that moment when you open a bag of chips and suddenly, it's like a black hole? One minute you're just having a snack, and the next, you've devoured enough calories to feed a small village. It's not a snack. It's a full-blown buffet for your taste buds, and your waistline is the one paying the price. Let's be honest. Junk food is like that friend who always promises a good time, but leaves you feeling empty inside. It's all about the flavor, illusion, sugar, and salt seducing your taste buds, while your brain is left wondering where the real food went. If you want to feel like a human being, stop treating your body like a garbage disposal for artificial flavors and empty calories. And then there's the aftermath. You know what I'm talking about, the post-junk food regret that hits harder than a Monday morning. You sit there, clutching your stomach, wondering why you thought it was a good idea to eat a whole pizza by yourself. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So, let's make a pact. Ditch the junk and embrace real food. Your body deserves better than being a temporary home for processed nonsense. Choose fruits, veggies, and whole grains that make you feel alive instead of sluggish. Because at the end of the day, you are what you eat, and nobody wants to be a walking bag of chips. So next time you reach for that greasy burger or sugary snack, just remember, you're not just feeding your cravings, you're feeding your future self. And trust me, your future self deserves a whole lot better. You must be a magician, because every time you start talking, my brain disappears into a rabbit hole of confusion. You have the unique ability to turn every conversation into a TED Talk. Too bad, it's always about topics no one asked for. If procrastination were an Olympic sport, you'd definitely be the reigning champion gold medalist in doing nothing. You bring more drama to a conversation than a soap opera. Congratulations. You've just won the award for best supporting role in your own life. Talking to you is like playing chess with a pigeon. No matter how good I am, you're just going to knock over the pieces and strut around like you won. You're like a cloud when you disappear. It's a beautiful day. Your positivity is so contagious that I'm starting to feel like I need a vaccine. Oh, look at you, the master of convenience. You waltz into the store like you're auditioning for a role in a reality show called Extreme Laziness. Seriously, you've turned picking up groceries into an Olympic sport. Who knew that strolling through the aisles and grabbing a few items could require a PAAHDAADDDDHEHE in procrastination? You've perfected the art of saying, "I'll just pick it up." That's code for, I have no intention of planning ahead, but I'm still going to act like I'm the busiest person in the world. You're like a magician. Now you see your grocery list, now you don't. Poof. It's gone until you're standing in the store, staring blankly at the shelves like they're a foreign language. And let's let's talk about your cart. It's like a game of Tetris gone wrong. You've got a random assortment of items that look like they were chosen by a toddler on a sugar high. One minute you're picking up kale, the next it's a family-sized bag of chips. What's the plan here? Are you feeding a rabbit or throwing a party for your inner child? Then there's the checkout line, where you act like you're in a high-stakes poker game. You're scanning the items like they hold the secrets to the universe. And when the total comes up, you look shocked, as if you didn't know that 5 packs of cookies and a gallon of ice cream would cost more than a small car. Newsflash, you can't just pick it up and expect the universe to balance your diet. And let's not forget the aftermath. You leave the store with your haul, feeling like a champion. But come on, we all know you'll be back in 2 days, standing in the same aisle, wondering how you forgot the one thing you actually needed. It's like a never-ending cycle of grocery regret. Oh, you thought you could bring me down? That's adorable. Every time you let me down, it's like handing me a personal trainer for my resilience. I mean, when life throws me a curveball, I don't just dodge it, I catch it, throw it back, and watch you scramble. You see, while you're busy trying to knock me down, I'm busy plotting my glorious comeback. I get up stronger, like a superhero who just got their powers upgraded. You might think you're the villain in my story, but really, you're just the plot twist that makes my triumph even sweeter. You talk about blood revenge like it's a scary movie, but for me, it's just fuel for the fire. Every letdown is a drop of gasoline on my ambition. So, keep the disappointments coming. I'll just keep turning them into my own personal success saga. By the time I'm done, I'll have a whole series of epic victories, and trust me, you'll be the opening credits. So, here's a little advice. When you think you've got me down for the count, remember that I'm just warming up. I'll rise, I'll shine, and I'll be stronger than ever. And when I do, I'll make sure to send you a thank you card for the motivation. Just don't expect it to be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. Today, we're here to celebrate someone truly special. And by special, I mean the kind of person who makes you question if the universe has a sense of humor. Let's start with your fashion sense. I've seen better outfits at a yard sale. Seriously, your wardrobe looks like it was curated by a blindfolded raccoon. I mean, who knew that laundry day chic could be a style? You've got the unique ability to make even the most expensive clothes look like they were purchased from a clearance bin. And your hair, it's like you're trying to channel a 90 seconds burr band, but you missed the memo that they all moved on. I'm not saying you need a new hairstyle, but even your mirror is starting to look away in embarrassment. Now, let's talk about your cooking skills. If there were an Olympic event for burning toast, you'd be a gold medalist. Your idea of a gourmet meal is microwaving leftovers until they're well done. I've tasted cardboard that had more flavor. Honestly, I'm pretty sure your smoke detector is just your biggest fan, always cheering you on from the kitchen. And your social skills? Wow, you could clear a room faster than a skunk at a garden party. I've seen more engaging conversations at a DMV. You have the unique ability to turn any gathering into a silent film. If awkwardness were an Olympic sport, you'd be the reigning champion. But let's not forget your athletic prowess. Watching you try to play sports is like watching a giraffe on roller skates. You've got the coordination of a newborn deer and the grace of a hippo in a tutu. I'm pretty sure your idea of working out is lifting the remote control and running to the fridge. And what about your hobbies? You've got the enthusiasm of a toddler with a crayon, but the creativity of a potato. I mean, who knew that binge-watching Netflix could be an extreme sport? Your idea of adventure is trying a new flavor of potato chips. But in all seriousness, you are one of a kind. You bring a unique flavor to life that no one else can replicate. Your ability to make us laugh, even when you're the punchline, is a true gift. So here's to you, may your fashion sense improve, your cooking skills get a makeover, and your social life finally take off. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. Today, we're here to celebrate a truly unique individual, someone so special that even their reflection gives up halfway through the day. Seriously, I've seen mirrors shatter from sheer embarrassment just trying to reflect that face. Let's talk about your fashion sense. You dress like you've been colorblind since since birth and just discovered the clearance rack at a thrift store. I've seen better outfits on a scarecrow. It's like you walked into a department store and said, "Give me the most mismatched items you have, and make sure they're 2 sizes too big." And you're cooking. Oh boy, if there were an Olympic event for burnt toast, you take home the gold medal every time. If I had $1 for every time you set off the smoke alarm while making a simple meal, I could afford to hire a chef to save us all from your culinary disasters. I mean, how do you manage to boil water and still mess it up? That's a talent. Now, let's discuss your intellect. You're like a software update that never quite finishes, always promising improvements, but just leaving us confused and frustrated. I've met goldfish with longer attention spans. If common sense were a superpower, you'd be the sidekick who forgets to show up. I'd call you a tool, but that implies you're actually useful for something. And your social skills? Wow, you could turn a party into a funeral with just one awkward silence. You walk into a room and suddenly everyone's looking for the nearest exit. You could make a mime uncomfortable. It's like you have a sixth sense for killing the vibe. If only you could harness that power for good. Let's not forget your athletic ability. Watching you attempt to exercise is like watching a baby giraffe. Take its first steps awkward, painful, and slightly terrifying. You've got 2 left feet and a complete lack of coordination. I've seen toddlers with better balance. If you ever decide to run a marathon, I suggest you do it in reverse, at least that way. You'll have a better chance of finishing before you trip over your own shoelaces. And finally, let's talk about your love life. You have the romantic prowess of a potato. Your dating profile reads like a horror story, and your pickup lines could clear a room faster than a fire drill. You could write a book titled, "How to Scare Off Potential Partners in 10 Easy Steps." If love were a sport, you'd be the perennial benchwarmer always, watching from the sidelines while the rest of us score. But in all seriousness, we love you for who you are. You bring laughter and joy into our lives, even if it's at your own expense. So here's to you, the most lovable disaster we know. Keep being you, because the world needs more people who can laugh at themselves, especially when they're as entertaining as you are.